What's up, my loves? My name is Paige, this is Paige with the Page, and today we're going to be doing my December wrap up. Oh my god! The last wrap up of 2022 is here, and I had a really fantastic end to my reading year. I don't know what happened in December. I was just like, yes, let's power through all these goals and accomplish all the things. So I will be doing a 2022 goals review in the next 2 weeks. I can't remember exactly when it's going out, but let's dive into the stats and talk through what I read. In the month of December, I read 12 books, which equated to 5,131 pages. Which is 165 pages per day, or 427.5 pages per book. Yes! My average rating was a 4.42, and I do know that I had higher months in terms of average rating, but I really enjoyed everything that I read. In terms of genre, I had 2 contemporaries, 4 fantasy, 1 magical realism, 1 mystery, 2 non-fiction, and 2 paranormal. For format, I had 9 physical and audiobook combinations, and 3 physical. For age range, I read 1 middle grade, 6 young adult, and 5 adult. For ratings, I had 4 5 stars, 2 4.5 stars, and 6 4 stars. I read 6 standalones. For series, I started 1, I continued with 1, and I finished 4! Yes! My big book was Wise Man's Fear, which clocked in at 994 pages. And my smallest was The Jolly Christmas Postman, which was 52 pages. For my listening hours, I listened to 58.5 hours, which is insane. This was because I had 2 massive big books, which I wasn't running at the highest speed possible. I needed to slow it down to be able to take it in. And in terms of publication years, I had 1 from 1991, 1 from 2000, 4 from 2011 to 2015, 5 from 2016 to 2019, and 1 from 2021. So with that being said and the statistics done, let's talk about the books themselves. So the first book that I finished was Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare, and this is the last in the Infernal Devices series, and I gave this 4 stars. I definitely enjoyed this series a lot, and I find that it was the right thing for me, alternating between the Mortal Instruments and the Infernal Devices, because this held my interest a lot more and held out hope that the ending of Mortal Instruments was going to be better. I just really enjoy these characters, and I'm definitely wanting to pick up the follow-on, but I'm happy to leave that a couple of years. But I overall enjoyed this series and really enjoyed the conclusion. Next up, I read Medusa by Jessie Burton. This was an arc that I got from Ash's work in November. I think I got it in October of 2021. So I'm finally kicking that off the bucket. The illustrations in it are stunning, and I much prefer this cover to the actual final cover. I gave this a 4 stars. I really enjoyed hearing Medusa's story and sort of seeing a different perspective from it. Then I read Aidi by Roxane Gay and gave this 4.5 stars. This is a collection of stories, and it was just a really beautiful. Some of them were rather harrowing and others were really sweet. I love that the first one was called Motherfuckers, and that's actually the reason I picked this up to begin with. Also because I love Roxane Gay's writing, and it definitely shone through in this. And it is talking about the Haitian experience, and that was really interesting. Then I read City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare, which is the last of the Mortal Instruments, and I actually gave it 4 stars. I really enjoyed this ending. I was very happy with how it concluded, and I think, like, honestly it's probably closer to a 3.5, but because I enjoyed it that much more, and having the ties to the Infernal Devices series make that appearance just made it that little bit more enjoyable for me. I definitely feel like it is too long, but I had fun with it, and I'm happy to have read this series. Next up, I read The Five by Hallie Rubenhold, and I gave this 5 stars. This was exactly what I wanted from it. We're told the historical backstory as much as could be pieced together about the 5 women that Jack the Ripper killed. Polly, Annie, Elizabeth, Catherine, and Mary Jane. And sort of just being like, this is their lives. Can we please talk about the women not as the victims of Jack the Ripper, but who they are? And it was really interesting seeing the life life and just the common day experience of these women, mostly which were homeless, and seeing how this period of time, how the experience was for these women. And it's made me interested to pick up in how it would compare to nowadays and what sort of resources we have for homeless women and what sort of support networks, I suppose, we have available and what we would actually do. Very interesting, and I really enjoyed just getting to see their lives because they have been so sensationalized and dehumanized, so it was fascinating. Next up, I read The Wise Man's Fear by Patrick Rothfuss. I did this beast for Ash's book selection for my Advent challenge, so I'll quickly talk about it and then do my bingo board. So, holy shit. I gave this 5 stars. Patrick Rothfuss knows how to write a story that just hits with me. I really enjoyed getting to explore more of the magic system, and just being in this world is so intricate and detailed. It just, sits in your heart, really. I know a lot of it went over my head, always does, but I felt like Kavoth's progression throughout this story was really interesting, and I just really enjoyed getting to see him grow in his magic and learn more. I love the eccentric characters in this, and it just is a really, really fascinating read. I did end up reading it in 4 days, so that was intense, but I loved every minute of it. So I've got my Advent and Wise Man's Fears right here. Let me grab a cool robot. I am so excited to not have to do this with acrylics next year. And there we go. Yay! I love how cute it is. The next thing I read was Broken Things by Lauren Oliver, and I gave this 4 stars. I really enjoyed the mystery aspect to this and the story within a story, which I wasn't expecting. I found that it was a very engaging, very quick read, and yeah, I don't really have too many thoughts. I just know that it was enjoyable, it was quick, and I think for a veteran like mystery reader, this would not fly as high, but I just really enjoyed it and had a lot of fun. And Elise from The Petite Punk recommended this to me for my Advent challenge, and so I'm very happy to have ticked this one off. Speaking of which, so it's done! I did it! I was very worried that wasn't gonna happen. Oh my god, it's amazing! I'm so happy! Yay! Sneak peek into one of my 2022 goals. I'm so happy with how the Advent challenge went. Right, the next book that I read on Christmas Day was The Jolly Christmas Postman by Janet and Alan Alberg. Jacqueline from Jaxie Jax Reads sent this to me for Christmas, and I spent Christmas Day just going through it, and it was a quick, easy read. 5 stars. I love fairy tales, which is where the postman delivers to, and just having cute little activities to be able to do. Like, there's a board game for Little Red and a jigsaw to put Humpty Dumpty back together again, and just a play on those sort of things, and it was really cute. So 5 stars. Really a non-rated but an enjoyable experience all around. So I read all of that, and then finally made my way back to Ship of Destiny by Robin Hobb, and I finished it and gave it 5 stars. I can definitely understand why this disappoints some people and they're not as in love with it. There were definitely moments, especially with one character, that I was like, why? But I also am so in love with these characters. I feel that the character progression in this, aside from that one character, is absolutely amazing, and I just feel so connected to this world, to everything that is happening. The dragons in it, beautiful, and I had so much fun with this series as a whole, and I'm so happy that I have concluded the Life Fit trilogy, and Robin Hobb has cemented themselves as one of my favorite authors. Next up, I read Fortuna Swan by KJ Sutton, and I gave this 4.5 stars. I found this a quick, really fun, dark read. I don't really know like how to describe. It was entertaining, but it was also extremely harrowing in sections. So I really enjoyed Fortuna's determination and strength of will. I found that her character was super engaging straight off the bat, and I'm definitely rooting for her and would love to see where the rest of this story goes. It's really dark, and I am keen for it to get darker. Then I read Hidden Figures by Margot Lee Shetterly, and this is the story of the African-American women that helped win the space race, and talking about women in IT. It was scientifically dense, so I know that I didn't understand a lot of the scientific words that were talked about, but overall I really enjoyed just hearing their story. Similar to the 5, these are women's voices that haven't been told and haven't been promoted about, but they deserve it. No voice should be hidden or subjugated and not allowed to be heard just because they're a minority or just because they were the victim of a horrible crime. Like, every voice deserves to be spoken about, and just seeing their struggles but their passion and desire for space, and it was just lovely. So I gave it 4 stars. I think mostly just because that science terminology is not my area of expertise, so more a me thing than a book thing, but overall I just really enjoyed it and think that it is a fascinating story to hear. And then the last book that I read for the month of December and for 2022 was When the Moon Was Ours by Anna-Marie McLemore, and I gave this 4 stars. So this is a very whimsical magical realism book that is really just beautifully written. I think this is my first Anna-Marie McLemore's novel. I think I've read a short story by them before, but I can't remember. And just the discussions in this, the LGBT representation in it was fantastic. It was creepy as shit, and I just really enjoyed this. So it definitely deals with difficult topics in such a fascinating and caring way, and I really appreciated it for it. So a great way to end my 2022. So these were the books that concluded my 2022, and I'm thrilled. I'm so happy to have gotten through all of these. Let me know in the comments, what was the best book that you read in December? I'm so happy at how this year concluded and so excited to see what 2023 will hold. So let me know your favorite book of 2022 and what you're starting 2023 with. If you like this video, feel free to give it a big thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of this mess, feel free to subscribe, and I'll hopefully see you on my next video. Bye!